Welcome to State of Tech. Let's take a look at the Crossword app available for the iPhone, iPad, and your Android devices. Open up the Crossword app and it brings us into the main list of crossword puzzles that are available for us to play. So I can see crosswords that were released yesterday. We have a couple more days down below, some of them that were released today, and we have different dates. On each crossword, what's really cool is the icon next to it represents the actual crossword board. So this one on Sunday released by Kelly Clark, whether or not. If I tap on that, when a board loads in, you're going to notice the icon that was representative out there is the actual board itself. So that's really cool. I thought that was nice, a nice little touch here, so that we get a preview of the board. And even the one up at the top, you see Patrick Merrill. That board is the one that I currently was playing, and you can even see some of my answers are filled in on the thumbnail on the actual left-hand side. Tapping on that gives me my basic information, title, constructors, publishing date, and there's even my grid preview. I see my difficulty, size, the time I spent on it, my completion, and my rating distribution. And there's even more statistics down below with my high scores and scores with hints. So those are going to be other users of the Crossword app that are playing the same board, and I can see their actual total time, their scores, and everything, all that good information down below. So let's jump into the puzzle that I last left off on. We'll do this one, Patrick Morrell, which is small talk, and if I tap in there, it's going to load in the puzzle, and you see I've already got some answers filled in. So if I tap on clues, this will actually give me the list of clues, and if I had the answer, what I can do is actually type in here, I'll pull up the keys, and I'll be able to actually input the keys that I think it is. So for example, the answer here probably is not fun, but if I were to write that in there, it's actually going to fill in the keys. And if I come back out to the actual main menu, if I want to get back out to the board, all I have to do is now tap clues again. It'll hide everything. You can see up one across has now been filled in. And I can also pull out my clues on the right hand side of the screen by tapping on that clues tab. And I can see all the different clues here, so I can swipe through all the ones across, swipe through all the ones down. And if I tap on one, it's going to jump me right into that clue, and you can see it's highlighted 26 down that I can begin filling in. Tapping on the direction button will actually switch directions on that clue. So notice that now I'm on 26 down, but if I tap direction, it'll switch me to 24 across, which is the actual one that I'm trying to fill in. So being that 26 down and 24 across intersect, tapping direction switches the actual direction of the clue. That way I can fill in both of them at the same time to ensure that I am filling in the correct answer. If I ever need any help, tap hint, it's going to give me a hint. See 26 down, begins with an E, and knowing that 24 now has an E in the middle of it, I can now begin filling in those two clues based upon the actual clues on the right hand side of the screen. I can change how my actual fill-in looks, either a pen or a pencil. So notice now that I have pencil selected, if I were to type in, it looks more like a pencil stroke. And if I tap on pen, it looks more like a pen stroke. So you can see those two differences. And I can even use the back arrow on the keyboard to go ahead and erase some of those letters to make sure that I'm filling in correctly. Now I have options in the bottom left-hand corner where I can see the puzzle info, rate it. I can even print an empty grid with AirPrint, so that way I can actually get this grid on physical paper and fill it out. And I can even print it with all of my progress, or I can even just solve the whole puzzle by tapping on solve whole puzzle, and it fills in all of the correct answers. So that way I can actually have a key. If I was going to fill this in on paper, I actually have all this filled in for me, so I can use that as a key. Tap the arrow in the top left hand corner and it brings us back out to the main menu, where I can now select more puzzles to go ahead and complete. What's really cool is now I can sort all these puzzles by different filters. Tapping next to that plus button where it says date constructor, if I tap on that, I can now sort them by constructor date, difficulty date, rating, bookmarked, recently played, filtered, and even imported. And the way that I can cycle through these, I can just go ahead and tap on one, and then the filtering is going to change. Notice up in the top left-hand corner, it's changed as well. But if I hit these arrows over there in the top right-hand corner, that's also going to change my filtering. You can see that represented up in the top left-hand corner. So tapping the left or right arrows will move me down or up in this list that we see here. And you're going to see that reflected up in the top left hand corner. Now I can delete puzzles. If I don't want puzzles on my device, just tap in the top right hand corner. That's going to delete some puzzles. And I can even import more puzzles by tapping the plus button in the top right hand corner. I can add recent, selected dates, and I can go all the way up to past 6 months worth of puzzles and add those in. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, we can change our language. These are the current supported languages, so we have English, Spanish, German, Italian, and then other. And now what I can do in the bottom right-hand corner is even select what constructors I want their puzzles showing up. So tapping on that profile icon, I can actually tap on different constructors, and their puzzles will no longer be added into my list of puzzles. And you can know which ones you've selected by the blue dot next to their name. Notice if I tap on these 3 that I just unselected, the blue dot's now been added back, letting me know that those constructors will be active in my main field, and I'll be able to see puzzles they've created. So the more that you play this, the more that you'll understand who's making what puzzles and if you like their style of puzzles. So once again, this application is called the Crossword App. If you like it, pick it up for your iPhone and iPad in the App Store, and for your Android devices in the Google Play Store.